Hello again, good morning, my dear kids. This is again Mithun Raj from Cochin, Kerala. Okay, signing in from this part of the world. And today again we are going to the third part. Okay, third video log regarding our first biology chapter. You know the name, isn't it? Of course. Okay, tell me. Life process. What all process we are doing, what all process the organisms in this world they are doing in order to make sure that they are alive. That process is called as what? That process is called as life process. Okay, you studied about two types of, anyway, mostly life process in human beings are divided into five. It includes nutrition. We'll take that page. See, nutrition, respiration, then comes what? Transportation, reproduction, and at the final stage is the excretion of the waste from the human body. So the first one regarding nutrition, okay, that's the one we are going to explain now. So what is this nutrition regarding respiration and all? Is the lights coming from that part? Try to block it. Just try to block. The video is clear, I think, isn't it? Okay, anyway. So, okay. So first one is nutrition. The process to obtain energy through consumption of food is called as what? It is nothing but nutrition. So you studied about two types of nutrition. Okay, according to nutrition, these entire organisms are divided into two. One is autotrophs and the next one is heterotrophs. Autotrophs are the organism which can prepare its own food. It is called as autotrophs, and heterotrophs organisms which cannot prepare their own food. They must depend on other organisms to make food. They are called as the heterotrophs. So let us start first. Example for autotroph is green plants, and you are very much familiar about this thing. Okay, photosynthesis, the method of preparation of food in the green plants. So what is photosynthesis? That's a 2-mark question. Explain it with a diagram. We will show that diagram. It is the process by which autotrophs take in carbon dioxide and water from the outside and convert them into carbohydrates in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Let me go with a diagram. I have one diagram here. Let's see that. Okay, this is not photosynthesis, this is digestive system. I think, can you see that diagram? Okay, fine. So here what is happening during photosynthesis? Okay, we have this is our a small plant. Okay, it's a sunflower plant, whatever plant. And see in the leaves of the plant, isn't it? They are mostly green in color. Why this is green? Actually, the green color is due to the presence of a pigment called chlorophyll. I think you already studied about this chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, this is a pigment which is present in the leaves of this plant. So, the color of that leaf is green. And this chlorophyll which is present in this leaf, it has one more property. The most important property of chlorophyll, that is to trap the sunlight. It can catch the sunlight. Okay, it can catch the sunlight which is coming from the sun. So all these things are commonly available in the environment. Anyway, water is available in the soil, isn't it? Huge amount of water is present in the soil. So the roots of this plant will absorb this water from the soil. And carbon dioxide is abundant in the atmosphere, isn't it? The waste gas which we are giving out, we are inhaling oxygen and exhaling what? Carbon dioxide. So lots of carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere. So it is also available there. And one more thing, in these leaves, how this carbon dioxide is getting inside this plant? Have you seen any nose or respiratory system in these leaves? No. Let me just go ahead 1 second. There is a particular pore. Pore means holes. Holes are there in the leaves which is called as stomata. That also we will study in the next part. Next part, not the next screen. So what is happening during photosynthesis? The sunlight which comes from the sun directly falls on the leaves. So the green colored chlorophyll, it will trap the sunlight and it will change this sunlight light energy into chemical energy. Understand? So that chemical energy, what they will do, that chemical energy will split the oxygen into hydrogen and oxygen. Understand? Hydrogen and oxygen. And that hydrogen will react with this carbon dioxide and it forms what? Glucose. Is that simple? Only this much is there in photosynthesis. You must know what is sunlight is there, carbon dioxide is there, water is there. Water and carbon dioxide directly they are getting from the atmosphere. Sunlight also they are getting it free. Sunlight free, carbon dioxide free, water free. Only what they have? They have a pigment called chlorophyll in their leaves. Chlorophyll traps sunlight, changes it into chemical energy. That chemical energy is used to convert water into water into hydrogen and oxygen. Electrolysis of water is happening. Then oxygen is released, and the the hydrogen reacts with carbon dioxide to form oxygen. Not oxygen, glucose, and this oxygen is a byproduct and which is also sent out through these leaves. Okay, so that is the main diagram regarding photosynthesis. One more diagram is there in textbook. You just go through that. So this is the definition of photosynthesis. Okay, it's a process by which autotrophs take in carbon dioxide and water from the outside and convert them into carbohydrates in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. These two things are very important: chlorophyll and sunlight. Okay, one more question we can expect one more question from this part, and this entire process is also a 2 mark question. And photosynthesis is very very important for 10th standard. Not only for 10th standard, it's very very important for human beings, isn't it? If there was no photosynthesis, from where do we get this oxygen? There won't be any oxygen left in the atmosphere. Okay, so let's see. And another important formula, if you have a pen and a paper, just write it down now. Now itself, it's a very important formula. It's a simple formula, isn't it? Carbon dioxide, CO2, which is in the atmosphere, and water in the soil. What chemical equation, what chemical reaction is happening during photosynthesis? We can mention the entire thing. And while you are writing the definition for this photosynthesis, this is the most important thing. Understand? 1 mark for the definition, 1 mark for this equation. It's simple. See, C6H12O6 is glucose. Carbohydrates or glucose. Understand? C6H12O6. C6H12O6. The equation is balanced. Isn't it? Alright. How many 12 oxygens are there? Here also 12. Carbon 6 carbon. Hydrogen 12. Here also 6 oxygen balanced. Isn't it? So this is the equation for photosynthesis, and it is very very important equation. 6 CO2 plus 6 H2O. Carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Water from the soil. It absorbs, and in the presence of chlorophyll, which is present inside the leaves of plants. Understand? Leaves. This is not getting from atmosphere. Understand? All the other things, sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, they are getting it from outside. Only chlorophyll they have inside. It's a pigment which gives the green color to the leaves. It is already present in the plant. So chlorophyll will trap the sunlight and it will change this light energy into chemical energy. And that chemical energy, what will do? It will split this hydrogen and oxygen, and this hydrogen will react with carbon dioxide to form C6H12O6, also called as glucose. And this is the food which the plant eats. Okay. And next one, this 6O2O is discharged into the atmosphere. It is released into the atmosphere, and this is what very important for us. Okay, this is the thing what we need most, because this is the same oxygen that we are breathing at the moment also. Understand? Now also we are breathing oxygen. Am I right? Okay, fine. Okay, these are the steps. We already discussed about this. Okay, these things I will give afterwards when the class is finished or each portion is finished. After finishing this nutrition portion, I will give the note. I will give the note till that nutrition part. You can copy it to your classwork, science classwork. These are very important. Okay, very important notes, because mostly questions will ask from these notes, and textbook questions are very less regarding NCERT textbooks. The exercise given in textbook is very less. Okay, before till 9th standard, I think you are only going with that textbook questions. No, in 10th standard, questions will come from outside. So I will try to give maximum questions from each chapters, so that all the repeated questions will be available in your CW. So just read it, and I'm sure you will get 95% above, 100% you will get it. Okay, these are the different steps. The first one is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. Okay, sunlight which comes and falls on the leaves, the leaf will absorb the light energy. Conversion of light energy to chemical energy, and that chemical energy used to split water and hydrogen molecules. No, water into hydrogen and oxygen molecules. Okay, sunlight directly is not doing anything. Okay, sunlight is trapped by chlorophyll. The chlorophyll inside the leaf will take the sunlight, and it will change what? The light energy of sunlight into chemical energy, and that chemical energy split water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen, and the hydrogen reacts with carbon dioxide. Why it is called as reduction of carbon dioxide in carbohydrates? Reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. Reduction means which process? Removal of oxygen or addition of hydrogen. You studied or not? Reduction means removal of oxygen or addition of hydrogen. See, hydrogen molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen molecules is added to this carbon dioxide to form glucose. So it is reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. That means hydrogen is added here. Understand? Reduction means hydrogen is added or oxygen is removed. Oxygen is removed and the oxygen is expelled into where? To the atmosphere as free oxygen which we can breathe. So that is the main part of photosynthesis. So photosynthesis in desert plants, how they are doing it? It's nothing, it's very simple. Mostly they are using that prepared energy stored to make food during night time. Desert plants take up carbon dioxide at night and prepare an intermediate which is acted upon by the energy absorbed by the chlorophyll during the day. So they absorb carbon dioxide during night, and they will make an intermediate. They are not making the same thing which is chlorophyll has done. In desert plant there is special type of pigments which can make their food, and also without the presence of sunlight. Okay, during night time also they can make the food. This is also one application level 1 mark question. Okay, study as it is. So raw materials for photosynthesis you already know. What is raw materials? Water comes from soil. You know that. It enters the root through the xylem tissue in the roots and stems. There is a particular types of tissue in the plants which is called as xylem. Okay, which is the main reason for the plants to absorb this water. Okay, xylem, it has absorption property, so it will absorb the water and it will be able to provide it to the leaves. Carbon dioxide comes in leaves through stomata. These two names you must remember, stomata and xylem. Xylem will absorb water. Stomata is nothing, it's only a small hole. We can see. Where is the stomata? This is stomata. Actually, this is not stomata. This round thing, this hole is stomata. Understand? This hole, and this thing is guard cell. Stomata is only a hole inside the leaf. If we see a leaf with microscope, we can see a cross section like this. Understand? And this hole is called as stomata, and this cell which covers the hole is called as guard cell. The function of this guard cell is to contract and expand. Contraction and expansion of this stomata pore. So this is a cross section of a leaf. If we take a leaf and if we cut it down into half, and if we look through a microscope, we can see it as like this. So this is very much zoomed, 1000 times it is zoomed. So this is the top part of the leaf. This is the bottom part of the leaves. Actually the leaf is very thin. Understand? The leaf is very thin. If you just take it with, you see it with a microscope, we can see things like this. Next to the surface there is chloroplast. This we want to study, chloroplast. This is epidermis. Okay, epidermis, that means the top layer and the bottom layer of the leaf. There is a shiny thing in the leaf, isn't it? Mostly in the top part, there is a shiny. We can, if you see, means there's a shine. That shine is due to this waxy cuticle. A waxy cuticle layer is there in the leaf, the top of the leaf. That's why the leaf shines. But the bottom, there is no shine, isn't it? Because there is no waxy cuticle. On the guard cells, these are stomata. See the small holes. These are called as stomata holes, and these are the guard cells which is surrounding the stomata. And in between there is a lots of spaces. It's called as the air space. And this is the thing: chlorophyll, chloroplast. Okay, chlorophyll is present inside this particular thing called as chloroplast. This is the cross section of a leaf. I think this is also a diagram. One more time I will check, and if the diagram is important I will post. Next one. So this is called as the chloroplast. See, if we zoom in more closely, chloroplast will look like this. Green dots like cell organelles which contain chlorophyll are called chloroplast. This is a particular organelles, because very small. So it has that chlorophyll pigment inside. So mostly in chloroplast you must study outer membrane and inner membrane. Okay, the outer skin and inner skin. Stroma is there. That space is called as stroma. This is granum. There's coin-like things are there, which is called as granum and thylakoids. The group of granum is called as what? Thylakoids. Some of the things it is needed. I think most all these things, stroma, granum is needed. Outer membrane, inner membrane you already studied. Thylakoids is that group of granum. Okay, this is the structure of a chloroplast. And this is stomata. Already we discussed. It's a small hole. The entire thing is not stomata. Stomata is only the hole. This thing is what? This is the guard cell. The cell which controls the stomata. Understand? The cell which controls the stomata. It will make it smaller and bigger. And the carbon dioxide, oxygen, water molecules, everything is getting inside and outside through this hole. Actually, this stomata act like as a nose. Understand? It is the nose of a plant. During daytime, carbon dioxide is entering into it and oxygen is coming outside with water vapor. Okay, with lots of water vapor. And during night time, oxygen is entering into this stomata and carbon dioxide is coming out with lots of water vapor. Okay, understood the working of stomata? Yeah, there is thousands and thousands of stomatas are there in a leaf. Okay, if we zoom in more, if we have a microscope in the lab, we would have seen that. If you just go to lab and if how to use a microscope, you know. Okay, if you know means you can see it. Otherwise, if you zoom in, you will get this image inside the eyepiece of that microscope. Functions of stomata. What does the stomata do? Okay, exchange of gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Passage of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes through this stomata. Losses large amount of water vapor during transpiration. Transpiration means same thing as respiration in human beings. Taking in carbon dioxide and giving out oxygen. And also lots of water vapor is also released during that time. Water is released into the atmosphere. These are the guard cells. See, these are the guard cells, and this is stomata. Okay, this is the hole, stomata hole. Understand? This is expanded and this is contracted, isn't it? Decreased expansion or compress. Increased turgor pressure means expansion. Okay, anyway, when this guard cell is the reason for the opening and closing of these stomata holes. Understand? And in guard cells also there is chloroplast is there, nucleus is there. This is stromal pore, stomata opening, stomata closed. Okay, so this is the work of guard cell. The bean-shaped cell on either side of stomata are called as guard cell, and which regulates the opening, opening or closing of. It controls the opening and closing of the stomata pore. Pore means hole. Okay, pore means hole. Function of guard cell is to regulate the opening and closing of the stomata pore. Okay. The control of stomatal pores. Guard cells swell when water flows into them. causing the stomata pore to open. Similarly, the pore closes if the guard cells shrink. Okay, like a balloon, it will, what will happen? It will swell, it will become big. See, it is swelling, so that we can see that opening. Now it is ready to take oxygen, carbon dioxide or water, take in or take out. But when it relaxes, shrinks, when it becomes small, see, the opening is closed. Understand? It will, guard cell will swell, it will become bigger, then the opening is open for the entry of oxygen and carbon dioxide plus water. At the same time, when it is closed, nothing can enter in or nothing can go outside. So the stomata in desert plants. In desert, temperature is very high. The stomata are closed to reduce the loss of water. So during transpiration in common areas, you know that when oxygen is sent out through the stomata pore, lots of water is also sent out, isn't it? So in desert, the plant cannot do that because there is not that much water in the soil. Understand? So the availability of water is less. So what the stomata will do in desert plants? It will not open that much. Understand? It will only open into a small size, very small opening. See, desert plants are adapted to take up carbon dioxide at night when stomata are open. The carbon dioxide taken up in the night prepares an intermediate compound which is acted upon by the energy absorbed by the chlorophyll during the day to prepare food. So during day they are absorbing chlorophyll and they are preparing food when at the night time by absorbing carbon dioxide. Otherwise, if they are using the entire stomata whole during daytime, what will happen? The entire water will go out. And they will dry, they will die. That's why these stomata pores are very, very small in desert plants. This is a simple experiment to prove that sufficient amount of carbon dioxide is necessary to carry out photosynthesis. So let's see, carbon dioxide is not there means what will happen to the plant? This is a simple. Potassium hydroxide we already studied. It is kept in this small glass plate. The potassium hydroxide has the ability to absorb carbon dioxide. It will react with carbon dioxide. Okay, so if potassium hydroxide is present inside this, what is this? This is a, what's the name? I don't know. This is a container-like thing of glass. We are placing it over the plant so that no air enter inside. Only carbon dioxide is there inside. Okay, and we will seal this area. This bottom area we will seal it so that no other air can enter inside this. So normally when carbon dioxide inside this glass jar will react with the potassium hydroxide and there is no carbon dioxide. So what will happen to the plant? Will photosynthesis happen? No, and within weeks this plant will dry or die. Okay, let's leave it. Next one is nitrogen. This is some extra from that part. What is the importance of nitrogen? You know that nitrogen is present in the atmosphere, isn't it? Am I right or not? It is an essential element in the synthesis of proteins and other compounds. It is obtained from the soil in the form of inorganic nitrates or nitrites. Or it is taken up as organic compound which has been prepared by bacteria from atmospheric nitrogen. Already nitrogen is there in the atmosphere. Some bacteria are there which prepares nitrogen as a food. Understand? So that the plants can absorb that. Nitrogen is very important in the case of protein and other compounds. Plants also needs a lots of other essential nutrients. And during lightning also that process is occurring. This atmosphere like nitrogen will change into useful molecules which is very useful for plants and also animals. So I think that photosynthesis part is finished. So one more time, just see what is photosynthesis. I will tell that with diagram. One diagram, if you draw this diagram, it will be very nice, isn't it? Just see how beautiful that flower is. Simple thing, water, carbon dioxide, sunlight, they are getting from outside. Okay, chlorophyll also present, already present in the leaves. So water is intaken by the roots, Carbon dioxide is absorbed through the stomata holes. Sunlight is trapped by the chlorophyll present in the leaves, and sunlight is turned into chemical energy. Light energy is turned into chemical energy, which reacts with water and splits the water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. And that hydrogen is added to carbon dioxide. That means reduction of carbon dioxide is occurred. And this carbon dioxide and hydrogen gives what? Glucose plus the byproduct oxygen is released out of the stomata hole, isn't it? With this oxygen, some water vapor is also released and food is prepared inside the leaf, and it is transported throughout the body of the plant so that it can live. Okay, now understood what is photosynthesis? Any doubts? It's a very simple thing. There's no need of any doubt regarding that part, isn't it? It's a very simple. You already studied in small classes. This class you studied a bit in detail. So, green plants, green color is due to chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is present in chloroplast. Okay, chloroplast. This is the chloroplast. Where is my chloroplast? Oh, this is the chloroplast. And inside the leaf, what all things are there? This is the cross section of a leaf. Understand? Chloroplast is there just below the upper layer. Understand? Just below the upper epidermis of the leaf, chloroplast is present. Inside chloroplast there is pigment called chlorophyll, which gives the green color of the plant. This we didn't discuss. Okay, this is the midrib, the main. This thing gives stability to the leaves. Have you seen that small stem-like thing in the center of the leaf? This gives stability to that leaf so that it will plain enough to absorb the sunlight. This is the lamina or leaf blade, that thin layer, not layer, thin thing, like a paper. And the small things are is called as the vein. Okay, so that's it regarding autotrophic nutrition. Next class we will start our heterotrophic nutrition, or we can say it as what is happening inside our body. Understand? This much part is simple, and some 2 mark question, 1 mark question can ask, but from this part onwards the most important thing starts. Okay, this is what are things happening in human beings. Very important for you, my dear kids, especially those who are planning to have NEET exam in future. Okay, those who like to become or choose the medical field, not only doctors, medical students like a nurse, any other medical field. It's very important for you, heterotrophic nutrition. This we will start in next class. Till then, Mithun Raj again signing off from this part of the world. After that, anyway, I will start the normal classes within 2 or 3 days. Some diagrams are there. Diagrams are very difficult to draw in the board. That's why I'm using this one. Okay, I also will start it with a projector. Next class onwards. Not next class, after 1 or 2 class onwards, we will use a projector to use all those things. It will be easy for you to understand during that. So anyway, Corona time, be at home, be safe, eat good food, drink a lot of water, and the homeworks, what all things we are providing daily, complete it. Homework, daily homework, post it in that. Daily homework, post it in my personal WhatsApp number. And these diagrams and all, what I told to draw, that also you must finish it. And especially diagrams are very important. Mostly 10-13 marks are coming from this diagram part. Very easy marks to get. So till then, goodbye my kids, take care, and Jai Hind.